Our next inductee hails from Bremerton, Washington. He's played for the U of M, 6-year NFL career with Atlanta, Buffalo, Green Bay, and St. Louis, and then Winnipeg in the CFL. And after he got done doing all that, he loves Montana. And he has moved around Montana a few places. He coached in Deer Lodge. He coached in a lot of other places around the state. But start the video and we'll get to find out who this guy is.
NFL excitement and pageantry in a neighborly atmosphere makes Green Bay Packers football unique in all the professional sports. The team is publicly owned, and given their unexcelled success in Major League Football, the Green Bay Packers are a very real part of the pride of Wisconsin. Defensively, the young Green Bay club finished high in statistics. 4th overall, Dave Purifoy and Steve Okoniewski, number 73, alternated at the other tackle slot. And the defense, which has long been a considerable factor in every game, appears on the verge of ripening into one of the NFC's best. And the Pack didn't take the ball away. They forced LA to give it up, and the special teams led by number 22, John Staggers, compounded the assault.
Please welcome to the stage our next inductee of the Montana Football Hall of Fame, Steve Okoniewski.
Put this in there. You want to put it there? This one. You got it. Thank you. I moved to Montana in March of 1970. In March of 1970, I was 20 years old, married, father of a 7-month-old daughter, and recovering from a knee operation. This moving to Montana and enrolling in the University of Montana was the absolute best decision in my life in terms of opening up future opportunity. Without this move, I'm sure I would not ever had a sniff of a chance to make it to the professional football, and indirectly to be in this room tonight. Since moving to Montana in 1970, I've had the good fortune to experience the amazing beauty of the Big Sky country, and to get and meet and know great people throughout the state, from Whitby, Montana to Webo, 9 miles from the North Dakota border. In fact, over the years, I've actually even got to know some rather pretty decent folks that call themselves Montana State Bobcat fans. Certainly the term pretty decent Montana State Bobcat fan is an item of debate. I won't go there. A little bit more about my background. I grew up near Bremerton, Washington, a Navy town, about 12 miles due west of Seattle. And although I didn't grow up on a ranch or farm, I did grow up in the country, a couple miles from the Bremerton city limits. But for grades K through 12, I attended schools in Central Kitsap School District, not Bremerton. When I was about 10 years old, I talked my dad into letting me join a youth athletic organization centered in the city of Bremerton. I was the first non-city kid to join the Sheridan Park Pee-wees. That's right, I was a Sheridan Park Pee-wee. Now they say that a lot of athletes and people in general are motivated because they have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and these people want to prove something. I certainly did, starting at age 10 or so, because my new city teammates were flat out better than me. Not only were they better ball players, but they had better baseball gloves. They dressed better, wore cool pants called Levi's, and had girlfriends. So, with me being from the country, and I'll admit, maybe some will agree, I can be a little bit on the unrefined side. My city teammates would introduce me to their city girlfriends. This is Claude. Claude's from the country. Claude drives tractors. Claude milks cows, and a few other less than flattering comments that certainly aren't appropriate for this social setting. So I'd be standing there, age 10 or so, with a broken pair of glasses, one lens up here, one lens down here, and everybody would have a good laugh, me included, sort of. So I began to think of ways I could reach my city teammates' level of athleticism, since I was going to be competing directly against them and not with them, starting in the 8th grade. So in the 8th grade, I began working out a bit, push-ups, pull-ups, jumping rope. But the biggest step forward came when I received a set of weights for Christmas in 8th grade. I quickly realized that you could get bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, better coordinated if you just worked at it. So using the weights, eating about everything in sight, drinking up to a gallon of milk a day, I became a more relevant athlete. 8th grade, weighed 135. 9th grade, 165. Sophomore year, 190. Junior, 215. Senior, 230. Now please realize that although I've been living in professional football for 7 years, I was later employed in education for 35 years. 30 as a high school principal. A somewhat respected vocation in most social circles. Well, but back when people in my hometown ever hear that I became a high school principal, their immediate reaction would be, "You became what?" And simply shake their heads in disbelief. Because the resume that I put together from ages 14 to 18 was anything less than Eagle Scout or Jack Armstrong All-American boy worthy. With my new physicality came a new confidence, but I overcompensated a bit in the aggression department and developed a rather pronounced antisocial behavior, highlighted by fighting a variety of people, including police officers. Not the best of ideas under any circumstances. Between ages 14 and 18, I served a total of 12 days in jail, 3 different lapses of good judgment. At age 18, this is true, newspaper articles describing my criminal offenses rivaled any articles mentioning notable athletic accomplishments. I myself sometimes have a hard time believing I ever became a high school principal. Having attended 3 colleges and on the roster of 6 professional teams in a period of 10 years probably qualifies me as a football vagabond. But other than the obvious unsettled lifestyle, being well-traveled had its advantages. Being exposed to a wide range of locker room mentalities, offenses, defenses, practice schedules, training programs, coaching techniques, fan bases, and city cultures. Is a definite plus. over just being in one or two locations over a career, in my opinion. NFL Hall of Fame coaches that I was fortunate to experience include Bart Starr, Forrest Gregg, Joe Gibbs, Jim Ringo, and Norm Van Brocklin. But the position coach that influenced me the most was Stan Jones, another Canton NFL Hall of Fame member who was Papa George Bear Hallis's team captain and a pioneer of weight training in the 1950s and 60s. Stan Jones cemented in my mentality that effort was the great equalizer. You sprint to the ball every play. Be in better shape than your competition. Maximize your potential by recognizing your weaknesses and targeting them for improvement. Don't get injured. Nobody cares. And play every play like it's your last. It could be. Notable NFL Hall of Fame former teammates that amazed me with their talent, and I might have shared a social moment with or two, include Ted Hendricks, the Mad Stork. Mad Stork blocked a still standing NFL record, 7 kicks for the Green Bay Packers in 1974. Dan Deerdorf, 5-time All-Pro tackle. He had thighs the size of garbage cans. Ran a 5-flat 40 at 305 pounds. Never trained a day in his life in the off season. Some people just got it. And O.J. Simpson. If you ever saw O.J. run, now, of course, I'm talking about on the football field. You knew you were witnessing a lifetime talent. Did he do it? Now, if I was a betting man, I'll let you answer that question. But I love the guy as a Buffalo Bill teammate from 1972 and 73. University of Montana coaching greats Jack Swarthout, Jack Elway, along with junior college coaches Marv Cross, Will McGilvery, have cemented and have impacted my memory forever, helped me mold my approach to coaching, which I did for 26 years at the high school level. So I want to thank the football gods and Deer Lodge, Montana, for my first teaching coaching position. In 1979, I inherited a team that was winless, so I couldn't do worse than 0-8. But the real gift from the football gods was Joe Bignell right back there. See, I could say something good about Montana State, baby. Coaching a Bignell, any Bignell is a dream come true. I don't think there's any argument from Bobcat fans. Yeah, I got a whole table full of the guys that played with Joe when 70 died. We were pretty damn good, too, I swear. The Wheelo Longhorn community hired me to be a principal in 1984. But with 55 boys in the high school and 53 going out for football, I got to be a member of the Rob Bushman's coaching staff. They liked their football a whole lot in eastern Montana. Coach John Schellinger, he could sure attest to that. Go Horns. Yep. Competition for me has a way of producing intense emotion, and this emotion has a way of forging indelible memories. The memories, camaraderie, and common bond shared with teammates and fans has to be at the top of the list for reasons to participate. I want to congratulate all the past inductees and fellow members of this year's class and all the great people that organize this event. It's a great event. I want to give a special shout out to 2 members of the 2019 class. First, Barry, the big boy Daryl from Great Falls. I had the good fortune to play next to the big boy for 2 years on the offensive line at the University of Montana. The big boy plowed over defensive linemen on a rather regular basis. And sometimes I'd get credit for the big boy's effort. Thank you, big boy. I can still remember you almost breaking me in two in a one-on-one drill, big boy. I ain't gonna thank you for that. I'm your friend. I love you, buddy. Also like to acknowledge the Ken Staniger family. Ken was a great friend, running mate, and everybody knows what he meant to Montana athletes and what he did for the people that he was hired to help out. This is special events, and I want to thank my family for putting up for my crap, and acknowledge that Julio Pereza recently passed away, and all the former teammates. They were, well, you're on a team. The coach is just part of that team. So everybody from Deer Lodge, Weeble that showed up, thank you.